Alright, today we're going to work on the 2 into 1 project. What we're going to do here is we're going to combine elements of two pictures and put them into one. There are a couple different methods of doing this in Photoshop. We have different options that we could choose from of how we want the picture to look. On Blackboard, under Assignments in Photography class, and under Projects in VisCom, you'll find the 2 into 1 project. Under each of the appropriate folders, there's going to be student examples from students of the past where you could look at their photos and see what they did, and they're some of the better ones I've seen throughout the years. So it'll get your mind going if you're having a rough start of trying to figure out where to start with this or how to begin this. So I have two pictures here from my parents' wedding back in the 1970s, and what we're going to do is take this picture of my father and his best man and put it into the television here. First and foremost, I need to get rid of this television screen. Now, if I simply go to the eraser tool and start to erase, you could see that there's white that appears underneath. I do not want that white there. On our colors on the side, black is my foreground color and white is my background. If I would switch them and start to erase, it's black. So wherever that background color is, the one behind, it will go onto the picture if you start to erase. How we fix that is when we open a picture in Photoshop, it is locked. So when I look at my layer here, my background layer, it's locked and there's a little lock on there. It's going to happen with any new picture I open in Photoshop. It's partially locked. So I'm going to double click on that lock and I get this pop-up box. I can name the layer, so it has the picture of my mom on there, so I'm going to call it Mom. Now when I start to erase, notice you'll see a checkered pattern. That checkered pattern is basically saying that is transparent, it is see-through. If this was an actual photo I was holding up in my hand right now, there would be a giant hole where I'm erasing. So I'm just going to do this quickly. This is not going to be the best erasing job of my life. We'll just do this for example's sake. So I'm going to go through, take out this television screen. Next, I'm going to go to my picture I want to take. I don't need to cut anything out. I don't need to magnetic lasso anything. I'm going to go to Select menu and go to All. Now I have the ants marching around the whole picture. So then I'm going to do Control C to copy, or Edit Copy if you like it that way, and then I'm going to paste it in. So now I have a layer, a brand new layer on top. I'm going to name that Dad. And I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and Scale. So I'm going to shrink this picture down. Now if I shrunk it and left it on top here, it would look like this old TV, probably from the 50s, is a flat screen. TVs didn't look like that back then. We want to make this look a little bit, more authentic. So I'm going to simply drag my top layer underneath. Wherever that top layer now was erased and it was see-through, it was transparent, wherever the underneath layer is going to be behind. So I have the picture here. Now if I needed to edit the picture in any way, I can go to Image, Adjustments, and if I want to brighten it up or anything, I bring up the brightness and it affects that layer only. So I could go through and kind of make that how I want to make it, and it could look like, that picture is on the TV. So if you're combining something from one picture to the next, you might need to mess with some of those levels to make the lighting match, to make just the overall appearance match so it might look more authentic. There is another way I could have done this as well. So now I have my screen back. What I'm going to do instead, I'm still going to unlock the layer. But this time I'm going to take that magnetic lasso. And I'm going to go and select the screen. Now I'm doing this quick again so I don't waste a lot of time. I'm going to go through, get that screen. So now the screen has the ants marching around it. What I'm going to do is go to Edit, Cut. Now I've taken away that screen. I'm going to go back to Edit and hit Paste. So now that television screen here is in the center of the picture. I'm going to go to my Move tool and move it back into place. Next, I'm going to go back to this picture, copy it again, paste it in, Edit, Transform, Scale. Now I'm going to put my layer 2 underneath layer 1. Actually, underneath the main layer. I'm going to take layer 1, which is the screen, and up above where my layers list is, I have a lot of options we haven't gone over yet, but opacity is one I'm going to look at now. I'm going to look at opacity and bring it down on the screen. Now I could somewhat get the effect that, you know, the television's on, you see the screen a little bit, and the picture of my father and his brother are in the TV. Now, we're still getting into Photoshop. We're still beginners, so our pictures aren't going to look perfect like you see on the internet of, you know, fake pictures. We're going to try our best to just really focus on trying to blend the layers together, taking pictures from one kind of lighting to another and trying to match them and work with the different adjustments and figure out what to do from there. With this project, this is something you should take your time on. This should not be a one period and done project. You want to really take your time cutting out your layers, combining them, going through the adjustments, trying to get it to look right. I want to be able to look at the picture and believe it's not photoshopped. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, and that's all I have for now. Till next time.